morning. It is the first day of my last week of the 75 hard challenge. Woo! If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Art. I try and make videos where I spice up my life a little bit, but I needed a change of pace. And so with this series, I decided this might change my life, and I honestly do believe it has. We'll talk about it more later on. If you watched last week's video, you would know that I'm struggling a bit with my anxiety. Unfortunately, I did wake up today with anxiety yet again, but there's a bit of excitement in it because I'm so close to finishing and I'm really excited to celebrate. But alas, let's get started. Nice out. It is like 80 degrees and it is not winter, it's fall. So it shouldn't be like summer weather, but had to go and enjoy it because who knows how long it's gonna last for. But now I'm back, and because I'm back so early, what I am gonna do is laundry. Feel like a chef, come on now. Should I have hung dry my clothes immediately after getting home? Absolutely. Did I? I'm starved. So made some dinner that you saw, and let's give it a taste test. Once I finish this, I'll hang up my clothes and get to editing. But I am celebrating the small wins. I woke up today and said today was gonna be a good day, and look what happened. Today became a good day. Was I anxious throughout? Absolutely. Do I still have problems in my life? Undoubtedly. But we could still have a good day, you know? As I was tidying up the kitchen, I found myself like talking to myself a bit, which is a good thing. I made a joke earlier in my YouTube career where I said like talking to myself helps with my channel, and I have had difficulty feeling comfortable in front of the camera again, given like the things that I've gone through, which then stinted my willingness to go on camera. And a part of that was also just like I lost my ability to talk out loud. And I'm realizing like part of speaking out loud to myself is a bit of self-soothing. Like the humming in my chest helps a lot. I've been humming to feel more comfortable sleeping at night. And so when I caught myself talking to myself, it's kind of like I'm bringing myself back, even though I know part of it is also just like I need that to feel safe. But I'm glad it's not a mindful action anymore. Like I'm doing it instinctively, and that is coming a long way. I don't know if anyone else is like realizing things about themselves or like traits that they have where it's just like, oh, I do this because it makes me feel safe, and you've lost that ability. But I hope that you realize that it comes back, you know. I hope it does come back and you're just shocked at how amazing and far you've come from when you used to do it, you know. I opened my laptop to edit. I've been trying my best not to get a new laptop because they're so expensive. I think I'm gonna have to. I just scheduled an appointment for tomorrow afternoon. Luckily, I finished up work today, so I have a freer day, but my goal was to edit most of tomorrow, but I guess I will go and get my laptop fixed, hopefully. And if it costs the price of a new laptop, I'd rather get a new laptop. And I'm pissed. Yeah, it grew bigger. I'm watching a lot of like how-to videos, and I'm realizing like last night I had this thought as well, where it's like, how did I get this far when it comes to 75 hard? Like, what kept me going? And I think it'd be useful to share my experiences and what I think could potentially help other people if this is a journey that you're interested in pursuing to whatever degree. Because I did 75 soft, but I called it 75 hard because I didn't know there was language for when you change it. I think number one, why I kept going is I failed 75 hard at the beginning of this year. I did the same thing where I made my own little checklist of things that I wanted to accomplish using 75 hard as a guide. So how I built my routine started off with like, here's 75 hard, let's make it more attainable for what I'm currently living, in addition to what are the things that I've been putting off that I should instill in my daily routine. The only thing that I think I took like No, because I changed that too. I was gonna say the only thing I took verbatim was to read 10 pages, but it's read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. No. I mean, I did at the start, but that was just because I needed to finish this book so I can give it back to the person who I still haven't given it back to. But yeah, Series of Unfortunate Events was calling my name, and I'm really having fun reading it, and I need to steal somebody else's Netflix login so I can finish watching it. But yeah, I think starting off with just like what seems attainable, because if you want to just do 75 hard and like make sure you do everything in your power to get that version of it done, go for it. I just knew that I have depression, and if it's too hard, I would not like being in my own body, you know? Let me change, and then we'll keep with the tips. Another tip that I have is knowing your why. I definitely started off 75 hard with like, I hate my life and I need to change something so that I don't hate my life. And here's the thing, I feel like I accomplished that. I don't hate my life. I think I've grown exponentially since the start of 75 hard. I know like it's been a roller coaster for me personally. Like I would be doing really well emotionally and then something will completely derail. I think it was like only one day that I was just like, I really don't want to do anything, and to the point where I like was comfortable not doing anything. And that's when I went on like my public humiliation tactic, which is something that works a lot for me. I don't want to disappoint people. It's not that I don't want to fail in front of people. I'm happy doing that. I pride myself on not being a liar. So if I tell people that I'm gonna do something and then I don't do it, I feel like I just lied. So if I publicly go online and I'm just like, hey, I'm struggling to do 75 hard, which I wanted this to be a secret. I like did not tell anyone, and I'm sure because I haven't been posting on social media, people just assume that I haven't accomplished it, but I'm still going. I just didn't want it to be like a public thing, because the root of me starting this was I'm doing it for myself, and the core of it is that, and I don't want to do it for the spectacle. Yes, I'm making this YouTube video, but I haven't been posting like on my Instagram about it because it's not for content creation, minus these videos, but you know, it was for me to change my life, and I feel like I'm doing it, you know? My mindset has shifted dramatically. There are things that I was like harping on at the beginning of this that I think about sparingly, and that's growth to me, because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted something new to take over my brain power, and I think I've accomplished that. No sunglasses on my walk per usual, because I need to take in the sun, because I am probably lacking in vitamin D. But yeah, if you know why you're doing it, and my why being like, I want to do it for myself to change my life for the better. When I don't want to do anything, I kind of just sit here and I'm just like, look, but like, this is a challenge that you wanted. You know it's going to better your life. And there's a saying, and I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of like, you can have a difficult day today to make tomorrow easier, or you can make today easier and tomorrow difficult. If you know the exact wording, please help me out here. But yeah, like granted, with 75 hard, you're doing the same day over and over again, essentially. But if I didn't do it, then I would fail. And if I failed, I would not think highly of myself. This hair has been bothering me this entire time, and I still need to cut it. There's like 2 super long hairs. Yeah, I'm just snip. And that's the polar opposite of what I wanted to do with this challenge, is make myself feel worse. So it was just easier for me to be like, yeah, this is my why, and that's why I'm gonna keep doing it. And now that I'm at the end, it's just like, at this point, we just gotta finish off strong, you know? All right, let's do the walk. On my walk, I'm gonna read, per usual, and potentially journal. And I have to be out of here by like late morning, like 11, to make it to my appointment for my laptop to get fixed. So I could edit with it, but it's just like, I'd rather not. My problem is like, if they take my laptop away, I didn't think of that. Okay, so I'm gonna go on my walk, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna edit, but I need to make sure that I get my 75 hard done. But yeah, I feel like those tips are great for setting a foundation, because you have the plan of what you want to accomplish in addition to the reason why you want to accomplish it. And then when it comes to putting into practice, for me personally, this is a part of my day that I'm excited for, my walks now. So I think just making it a part of your routine also adds a factor that it's like, I'm already doing this on a daily basis, I might as well just keep going. the antithesis to what I literally just said. Don't be scared to mix things up. I know I didn't always have a routine, and even with my routine, like, nothing is really functional. Sometimes on my walk I make sure to read and journal. Sometimes I do it separately. It really just depends on what works best for you, because even earlier on I was doing my walks towards the end of the day and I realized, like, that doesn't make me feel safe. So now it's one of the first things I do in the morning. And also, like, editing is one I procrastinate a lot on, so making sure that that gets done earlier in the day. Stretching is one that I kind of do when I feel my body needs it. So, you know, mix things up, because maybe the routine you currently have isn't the best one for you, and you don't know until you try them all. Realizing that there is a potential that my laptop is going to be taken away from me really is something I should have conceived last night, so that I would have planned today accordingly. So it is currently 10:40. I am going to edit. I have to eat and edit at the same time, because by the time because I have to leave in a half hour. So if I edit and eat, we'll get both done. Hopefully this is like a wait a couple hours and we'll get your laptop back, but I have a theory it's gonna be wait a couple days and we'll ship it back to you. So let's find out. They said they wasn't ready for my appointment yet, so I'm just gonna chill for a bit until they're ready for me.
Is there anything in maybe like a downloads folder or something like this folder or anything like that that you might need? This might be the only folder that's not saved on your iPad.
Can we just save it just in
case?
case?
I got you. What I'll do is, oh shit, it died off the screen. Come on, screen, come back.
No.
The good thing is with a display, we usually don't erase it, but just as a caution, we do it. But you should be fine. But
it is a fantastic thing that I edited this morning, because they definitely did need to take my laptop. They said it'd take like 3 to 5 days, but they have the screen in store, so it should lean more towards the 3 days, I hope. Also, that circus, I want to go. I really want to go. I don't know where the day went, and it happens, and that made me consider, like, if I'm not emotionally equipped to handle 75 hard, like, what can I do to overcome those challenges, especially since I've been, like, struggling with my anxiety throughout this entire process. I think for me, part of it is realizing that I am currently living with anxiety, and I'm gonna need to learn how to live with it, because I don't know how long I'll have it. So I need to push through and make sure that I'm okay no matter what. And then another part of it is, when it comes to the list that I created to accomplish for my 75 hard, these are things that I want to do to better myself, which is why I removed the progress picture, because that does not help me, is not motivating, I don't care. And so now I have things on my list that I do care about. Stretching, I feel like an old woman and I don't use my body, and I used to be an extremely flexible kid, and now as an adult my body just feels old and like it doesn't function. So I need to stretch and I need to exercise to make sure that I'm keeping up with my health, because, you know, aging, not fun. I also have, like, journaling. I started this in one of the lowest mindsets of the year, I guess, because the last 3 years have been very difficult for me, more so last year in particular, and that has, like, trailed off into this year and affected me to this day. And I'm very positive, I've said this earlier in this series, but I don't want to be defined by the experiences that have traumatized me. I want to be my own person, and it doesn't mean that I need to have overcome those traumas, but I definitely do want to be a human, not a person who suffered through trauma, if that makes sense. So journaling, very important, and editing, like, this is fun for me, and it's a potential career path that I don't want to let go of. And I'm really excited to learn more about the business side of creating content, but I also want to get better at creating content. And the hurdle that I suffer through is the editing portion, and having it on the list as a daily thing. It puts it into perspective of, like, this is every day, and it doesn't have to be every day, but it's something that I definitely need to create a final product to be a creator. And that's the last step that I always ignore. When it comes to reading, that's more so just, I need to take time to like slow down in life. And I also realize like I don't really think for myself, so being able to read a page and understand a page versus just listening to people, it's just a different way of like being in tune with the world that I want to get better at. And also like I've always hated reading, and I know it's not a nuisance, or at least not as much as it used to be. So I want to find joy in hard things. And my nutritionist log obviously cycles in with my health. So when it comes to how do I emotionally get past the hump, even in my lowest moments, I think to myself, how badly do I want to accomplish my goals? Like, we can dream our dreams every single day, we can want forever, but if we actually want it to be in our reality, we have to put in the work to achieve it. And if you are sitting here dreaming and you're not working towards your goals, you don't want it that bad. You want it in the sense of fantasy, and if you can fantasize about it, why not make it reality? It's hard work, but if that's the life you truly want, you're willing to put in the work, you know? How badly do you want it? That's the quote that really just gets me going. Because I sit here and I say that I want to be a creator, but I struggle to edit, which means I don't want to create. If I really wanted to be a creator, I would edit, I would create. How badly do I want to do that? With that, I bid you a good night, and tomorrow a good day. Good morning. First thing I did was edit, and I'm kind of excited. Once I learn how to do this, it's going to be faster, and so I'm not going to spend the full half hour learning how to do this, but I'm currently trying to resize something on CapCut, because right now it's like 9 by 16 over 9 by 16, and I want it to be the 16 by 9, and it should work out, but like, I don't know how. I did it. I figured it out. That's fantastic. Okay. This is literally perfect. Oh, now I understand. Whew. Okay. Hee hee hee. Oh, this is so great. Definitely did want to go on my walk in the morning, but I just saw my landlord pull up. We don't have beef or nothing. Like, they're really amazing people. They have been fantastic. I don't want to say hi. I just want to do my walks as I normally do, which is either go like raw dog it, no headphones, or like be jamming to my music and just walking and like not interacting with people, because people don't walk in the areas that I'm walking, so it's mostly lonely. But if there's a person, it's like there's an NPC character right outside my home, and like hopefully I could just be like and keep going. But you never know if they're gonna be like, yeah, how's it going? And then, you know, like you start that, what's it called, end scene, like a credit scene, title screen, talking scene, a scene, cutaway scene. Yeah, I don't want to enter a cutaway scene on my walk. Wow, that is like the perfect analogy. Watch me have taken that from the internet and just subconsciously. Anyway, there's certain things you kind of just do on autopilot, and you don't want to be interrupted by like a Pokemon on your adventures, you know? Another day of me wearing stuff that is just a little too warm for the actual weather. Also, because I was like so deep in my book, I bumped into so many things on my walk. So if there are leaves in my hair, I hope you understand. I think I know exactly what I'm going to journal about, and I don't understand how my closet door always opens. Please just ignore it. So I am in need of a friend like Sally. If you don't know who Sally is, she was on Love Island season 2. She was also part of Love Island season 6 After Sun. I love her dearly. I literally found her videos during the height of the pandemic and instantly fell in love with her, and then apparently she was like, yeah, when I was on reality TV, and I'm like, I need more of you. Which show? And then I found out it was Love Island, and I was like, babe, I love you. Like, yes, I need more of you. And to find out it's like 20 plus episodes of an hour-long TV show. Gimme, 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 gimme. So I started watching Love Island USA because of Sally. She is just so bubbly and fun and just like loves life, and I just want that friend right now, because I just need like fun, loving energy right now, and she just exudes that tremendously. Anyway, so that's probably what I'm gonna journal about, is like how can I bring that energy into my life. This is energy that I'm craving, and if I can't leech off of someone else, because it's essentially what I'm trying to do, how can I create it for myself? Hello, I know it's dark. I can't turn on the light. My anxiety's super bad today. So still haven't stretched, still haven't journaled, and I did do my nutritionist log. I'm currently eating dinner like as slow as possible. I'm like taking a bite every like 15 minutes. Here she is. It's tortellini with like butter, garlic powder, salt, pepper, arugula, just something to not go to bed hungry. And I'm so anxious that I'm not really in the mood to eat anything. But like as I'm eating, it's just like, no, I need the nutrients, but like my stomach is churning, it's so bad. Anyway, I just got an email saying that my laptop is ready for pickup, so I'm going to pick it up tomorrow so I can get back into editing. Yay! So I've only gone today, because yesterday I went to go drop it off. So that was super quick, and I'm so appreciative of it. I am trying to watch YouTube videos to distract myself. Hopefully after the next couple videos, I can finish my 75 hard and then hopefully finish my dinner and crawl into bed. I'm at a point now where it's like I'm so close to finishing that I might as well finish, and that's another mentality that I had because I tried to do 75 hard in February and failed in a single digit. I don't remember if it was day 4 or day 6, but definitely did not make it past day 7. I know that for a fact. And so after I got past the single digits, I was just like, okay, well at this point, like I can't fail at an embarrassing number. And then once I got like halfway, I'm just like, well, I can't fail. I just have to finish. So now that I'm 4 days away, now that it's nighttime, I'm like really excited to just say that I did it, you know? But again, I need to calm down a bit and we'll chat in a bit. My light just went red, so I'm gonna journal now so that I can just get ready for bed and do that, because I know I'm gonna stay scrolling for the rest of the night if I don't, which I probably am gonna stay scrolling anyway, but progress needs to be made. Good morning. I am gonna take some time and read right now, and then I'm gonna go on my walk. When I'm waking up with anxiety, it's often like my heart racing, body shaking, just not like mind racing. Sometimes it is, but often it's more like the physical aspects of it. And today I felt more exhausted. Like it literally felt like I woke up after running a marathon in my sleep. So that's been interesting to deal with on this walk. It's just making this walk so much more tiresome than what it usually is. It's usually more relaxing, but we're still getting it done, and I'm going to tell myself that it's still helpful. I mean, at least I'm getting physical activity in, and my heart is racing, and it's not that my body is like rejecting itself, I guess. I'm trying. Always look on the bright side. Not always, but you know, try often. Days like this when my anxiety is pretty bad, like knowing that there's something for me to do is sometimes a burden, but often I'm just like, at least I have a purpose of sorts. Like I know that today's a good day once I check everything off of my 75 hard, and that's probably something I'm gonna take into consideration moving forward. I like that I have a daily to-do list that is the same every day, because now I know like what I need to feel accomplished at the end of the day, which is nice to have. I think not having a friend to do this alongside definitely adds to my willingness to stop, but it also personally adds to my willingness to go at the same time. It's not like I can turn to someone else and ask them, how are you doing with the challenge, and get a different perspective on it, and someone who's like, hey, like, you want to do this, just being my own person. And that's another reason that makes me want to be consistent with it, is because I do depend on people a lot, and I just wanted to prove to myself that I can depend on myself. I got a notification that my doctor's appointment is coming up soon, the day after 75 hard ends, and I need to go get my blood drawn. I don't remember scheduling this appointment, so I'm gonna go get my blood drawn now before the clinic closes. And I called my mom to see if she is down to meet me because my anxiety is really bad and I think I need my mom. I was brave. I am gonna go to that Halloween party. I just spent some time with my mom. We had lunch, like a really late lunch. I'm gonna have some more before I head out. If I can find a yellow hoodie, I'm gonna do Winnie the Pooh. Not gonna do too much on the face just because probably gonna go show face, hang out for a bit, come back home, you know? Not trying to be the cutest belle at the ball, just trying to be at the ball. Red overalls. I know I have 2 plain yellow sweatshirts, 1 sweater, and 1 hoodie. And if I can find the hoodie, I'm literally golden. Okay. I had like a completely different vision of how I was gonna treat Halloween this year. And now that we're here, I'm kind of just like, can I stay home, please? But my friend said that she's excited to see me, so I would like to see her. I'm gonna eat a little something and then I'm gonna head out. This looks so cute. Yeah, I feel like I'm Disney bounding, I think is what it's called. Alright, so I just put it in and it's gonna take me an hour and a half to get there. So I have a lot more time than I thought I did. She keeps me posted on what she's doing, but I think she might be drinking. So it's just like, please pay attention to your phone, I need you. Good morning. There are no clips from the party last night because I didn't go. Got on the train, went, and was waiting for my friend at Union Square. And then she was, by the time I made it to Union Square, she still hadn't left her house. And it's like, it takes me 2 hours to get to Brooklyn and I'm not even at Brooklyn yet. And then because they wanted to stay there for like 3 hours, which would have been worth it because traveling there is too. As long as I'm staying there longer than I'm traveling, I'm a happy camper. But I waited for her for a half hour and then she finally texted me like, okay, we're on our way. And it takes her another half hour to get to me. I was just like, you know what? I'm going back home. Like, it's not even worth it anymore. Also, my anxiety started creeping back up again. And it's like, I'm literally only going to see this friend and this friend isn't gonna be there. And she's like, well, you can go and we can meet you there. And it's like, I don't know these people, I know you. And my anxiety is really bad today. So as much as I love you and would love to see you, girl, I'm just gonna go back home. And that's exactly what I did. Got home, showered, and on the way back, I finished Series of Unfortunate Events, the 6th book. So now I am starting The Vile Village, which is the 7th book. I might go out again tonight. We will see if this group of friends like backs out or not. Yeah, I'm not at my prime and I really just want to crawl into a hole and cry. And that's what I'm actually really nervous about when it comes to finishing up 75 hard, is I feel like a lot of the goals that I set for this challenge are things that I are working towards, what I want to accomplish. Like I've definitely explained this already, and I have a feeling that by the time 75 hard ends, I'm just going to rot. Granted, I do need some time to rot, but I know, I'm scared that I'm just not gonna progress towards anything. I'm definitely at a different mental health state than I was at the beginning of this. My depression was like full effect at the beginning, and now my anxiety is kicking and rocking. So transformation nonetheless, but I need to work on making sure I'm in a better state overall, and at this point, we just need like a little bit of time as we work, you know? Anyway, baby steps are steps nonetheless. And that's what I need to keep reminding myself. Like, yes, it doesn't feel like I have progressed significantly. I'm so looking forward to not struggling with my mental health again. That's gonna be amazing, you know? I'm a very big advocate of baby steps are steps, but I need to start making strides. So that's where I'm at. With my anxiety, I have been like fasting for a little bit longer before eating breakfast, which is not like my ideal. I definitely am used to waking up hungry, but I don't have much of an appetite, which is not fun. And it makes eating harder. Like I showed you my pasta from a couple nights ago and it took me 2 hours to finish it. And I didn't even finish it. There were like a couple pieces left. At least I ate, you know, and I will get better at finding a healthier balance in the near future, I hope. I'm definitely capable of it. I just need to find peace and calm and I'll be a-okay. I understand why my friends think I'm an optimist. Every once in a while I do need to remind myself that they perceive me in that way, which is not an awful way to be seen in my opinion, especially since I feel like a lot of my optimism is rooted in like reality rather than like everything's perfect, because I'm not dense. But on my walk today I found a nickel and I picked it up. And I was just like, this is 5 cents closer towards me being a millionaire, you know? And it's not my goal to have an exorbitant amount of money, but I forgot that this year I made a goal for myself to try and make 100K. Did not happen, nowhere near close. But I definitely realized like this 5 cents brings me closer to $1, right? And like every small thing brings you closer to a fulfilled life, you know? Whether it be negative or positive, it's just all of it is your life. And so I'm just trying to make the best of it because, I don't know, life sucks overall and you have to find pockets of enjoyment or else life doesn't feel worth living. So that's my optimist moment of the day. I'm hoping this is heated all the way through because I'm starving and I don't feel particularly inclined to microwave this again unless it's like freezing on the inside. One of my friends just messaged me, see if I was still going out with them tonight, and instinctively I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go anymore. Because I was actually going to try and go today just to like have a different experience, but they just messaged me like, oh, instead of like paying them back, they'd rather just give it to somebody else, and I was like, then give it to somebody else. At first that instinct came out of annoyance of like, I don't need to know this information, but now that I'm thinking about it for a couple of minutes, I'm realizing like, this was not a good situation for me to be in anyway. It's going to be a bunch of drunk people that's already annoying. There are so many people who are going to this event that I don't really care to be in their presence. So having the option to let it go, I'm just gonna let it go. I did offer to pay them back for the ticket, but for them to mention that like they'd rather give it to another person, double it, give it to the next person. I really don't want to deal with people who aren't going to put me at a elevated energy. This weekend did not turn out at all how I was expecting it to back in August, but alas, times change, experiences happen, and we end up where we are. It is so cold out this morning. I'm literally wearing the exact same thing where I'm just like, it's too hot for this outfit. It is too cold for this outfit. It's like 40 degrees. Yeah. I feel like the world is ending. It was like 82 days ago. So I just uploaded everything from this series onto my laptop, excluding this week because it ends tomorrow. Today's the penultimate day, and I haven't said that yet. But I feel it. I feel lethargic. I feel ready to get it over with. I'm feeling really proud of myself, really excited. Mostly the first two. But I just threw everything onto a timeline, and it's looking like I'm gonna be editing for quite some time, so I'm very, very nervous about my upload schedule. I'm editing the first episode so far. I am like 2 minutes in, and whoa, I just chopped out like half an hour, and now I'm 2 minutes in. Let me clarify that. Yeah, all I gave was that I needed to build trust in myself, and if that's the goal that I started off at, I am having difficulty believing that came true, even though I've proven that to myself. I literally just had a phone call today with one of my friends, and she was like, well, you did Vlogmas to prove that you can trust yourself. You're doing this to prove that you can trust yourself. You've time and time again proven that you can trust yourself. I don't know why I have this insecurity of myself other than like I literally sat here knowing that I'm self-sabotaging for weeks, being like, I need to submit my work to people so that I can be considered and they can reject me versus me not submitting, and not even being a candidate to be rejected, you know? I'd rather give them the opportunity to strip me of that opportunity versus stripping the opportunity away from myself. So with that, I feel like I have also proven that I'm not as trustworthy, even though I've relinquished that today and I gave it back to the people to, like, I submitted my my works to these people, but it's just like, wow, like, yes, time and time again I have proven to myself that I'm trustworthy, but some time and time again I've also proven that I'm so scared. And I think that's what I need to work on. Anyway, gotta keep editing. Good morning. It's the last day of 75 Hard. I am so nervous. Okay, honestly, I'm anxious as hell, but like I'm telling myself that it's excitement and nervousness so that I don't jump, you know? I saw a TikTok last night that's like, if you want to do 75 Hard, go to Whole Foods, get like the catering platter, put some in the fridge, put some in the freezer, and you're set for like 2 weeks. And that is something that I wish I had at the beginning of this process. Granted, I did have like HelloFresh and I've been banking on that throughout this entire process, and now I don't, and I need to figure out what I'm doing for the future. But that was another tip that I was like, yeah, knowing what you're going to eat is like a huge hurdle. So for them, it was Whole Foods catering. For me, it was HelloFresh. So I forgot that like food is like a major part of this, especially with my nutritionist log. So it was like, yeah, know what you're eating. Ladies and gentlemen, the fit. Definitely not the most interesting thing I put together, but I really like it. Everything is my outfit online, which tends to be the pattern. And then this is from Popflex. And lastly, this vest I got from Primark. I'm most definitely gonna change it before I leave for the day. Good enough for a walk. These and some mugs. Let's get started. I ended up switching my sweater just because I felt too bright in the white, so I changed it to a beige. I also tried to start reading on my walk, and I was like, no, let me enjoy this. I think this is gonna be part of like my daily routine from here on out. But I am gonna be transporting myself today so I can read on the train. So, just enjoying. And it feels good. This is right. Objectively a better outfit, even though it's the same thing, but just a different color sweater. Alrighty. I did have a different day planned, not gonna lie to you, but alas, today is still gonna be a good day. I'm gonna change real quick. I did read while in transit, so the last things I have to do: nutritionist log, which I'm definitely gonna throw it on here as soon as I inhale it. Journaling, which I will do very soon, and I'm about to hop on my call for my little editing date. I'm really excited. So I got 2 rolls. Here she is. Tasty, right? We love. This one's like a California roll topped with like spicy tuna. This one, shrimp tempura roll. Looks like it's topped with imitation crab. So, lunch. This is sushi that gets the job done, and it will get the job done. So I hopped on a call with a friend who is also creating content, and yeah, they weren't editing, and I was just like, I need someone to push me to edit, and they absolutely did. So we just hopped on a FaceTime call and edited together. It was so cute, so fun, and it's been 2-ish hours. So a little less than 2 hours. So I definitely checked off the editing on my list. The last thing that I need to do, other than like logging my food, which I almost forgot to do, I just found the receipt. Oh, I got a volcano roll and a angry dragon roll. That's what those were. Other than keeping up with my nutritionist log, the last thing I need to do is journal. So I just ended my call with my friend so that I can take time to do that. As I'm editing this video, because it's the first of the series, it's just like, wow, I've come so far. And it resonated with me just the same, my journal entry, even though I haven't read it yet. But it's like, I do need to get better at living the life that I want to live rather than escaping the life that I currently have. That right there, those are words that are inspirational to me. And I think I need to write them somewhere where I see them every day. Maybe like replace this sign up here with that. Oh, it's crooked. I'm sorry if that was bothering you. I'm just knowing. Something up there is crooked. I'm sorry. I don't care enough actually. Let's chat this journal entry super quick. I feel like the only thing that I could really focus on this journal entry was to compare where I was at the very beginning of this journey, where it was on a whim. I was just like, this needs to happen, and I did it. Because I don't quite remember where my head was at. And as I'm editing, I was just like, wow, this is so long ago. August was a lifetime ago, and we're like about to enter November. The year's almost over for me, but it's like wild how time flies, how much I've changed in just such a short span. But I really wanted to reflect mostly on the first journal entry that I wrote, because it's the thing that started this entire series. Like, I wanted to know comparatively where I was at the start versus where I am now. And I think we all have moments where we look back and it's just like, wow, the younger version of me is so brilliant. Where the hell did they go? And having these videos is fantastic because realistically, I'm not looking back to my journal entries. It's just nice to get it out on the page. But for my videos, I am reliving these moments, and the fact that I have literally no memory of that day, it's concerning. But also it's just like, wow, like that matters so deeply that I genuinely, hearing it again from me, a brilliant mastermind, it needs to be like who I am. I need to be someone who is living life and creating. It does make me happy, and that's just where I want to put my energy. And then this is something that I didn't disclose in the first video, but I have mentioned it throughout the series. I did feel like a miserable person. I hated my life. I hated the people who made me feel like I had the life that I had. I was looking back a lot with hate and despair and pity for myself. It was not a good place to be because I was so unhappy with how I ended up where I am, and that made me even more unhappy because I'm where I don't want to be. And I think recently I've gotten better at having new experiences and sitting with my emotions and not exactly resolving them, but knowing that they're there, and I don't lash out at my external as much as I used to. I am always and have always been someone who gets annoyed quite easily, but I found myself more recently getting annoyed a lot less, which is fantastic. Annoyed less with life, a lot more forgiving, a lot more understanding, a lot more of that's life. It's a part of life. It happens. It's a part of our life as well. We can't change that about something that we can't control, and letting it go. You know, very, very woo-woo, and I love that coming back to me. And today, during the meeting that I went to, someone was just like, look, it was kind of like dark in here. You came in and with your energy, like it brightened up the room. And it's like, that's crazy that she used that phrasing, because in my entry, I literally said, I want to get back to being a light for people. And she literally today said, you brighten a room. And that is like, I am making progress. I am becoming a better version of myself. And literally I heard that and I was just like, girl, all I do was say hello. But like, I make things smaller than what they actually are. Me sitting here being like, look, today's a good day to have a good day. And she's just like, you are the best thing to happen to me this morning. That's amazing that I could bring that energy to her and she's appreciative of it and let me know in that moment, not just that moment, but today of all days, to be like, you brighten up a room. And I'm looking back at this entry where I said that I wanted to be a light for people. And she just confirmed that I can do that. What I journaled about today, this isn't like a word for word for what I said, but I'm just proud of myself for how far I've come since the beginning of this challenge. And I mentioned, like, I'm so grateful to have gotten better, and I'm looking forward to the day where I feel like I'm at my prime. Because I did feel that a couple years back. Not wholly, but enough. And being able to live a life where you're just like, I am good. I am safe. I am in the best place for me, and I made the best decisions to land me here. That is what I'm excited to reach. I ended this journal entry by basically saying, like, baby steps. We love baby steps, but we do have to start making strides. And I've proven to myself time and time again with Vlogmas, with this challenge, with other areas of my life, that I am capable of doing what I set my mind to. And if I have done it in the past, I can do it again in the future. So why not reach for the stars, you know? And that is the one thing that I know a lot of people get discouraged about starting any challenge for themselves, or even setting goals for themselves, is they don't have that trust to accomplish things. And I didn't have that either, especially like as miserable as I was. I literally started 75 hard in February of this year, failed in a single digit, and now I'm on my last day, you know? And even if it is disheartening if you try something and you fail the first time, I just want this to be an example of it doesn't have to be on your first try. You can try again. What 75 hard has taught me is I think I need to move forward with like rules of what I need to accomplish every day to achieve my goals. It's something that worked for me in 2022. I think it was. Yes, in 2022. I like set goals for myself every month, and I did really good at accomplishing those. And I think I need to get back into the rhythm of what is big picture and how do we break it down. And I'm ready. I'm ready to start striving toward that. Whenever the day comes that I feel like I'm living my dream life, you will absolutely know, because I will be bragging about it, so that people know that like it started off rough and it does get better. And I'm so grateful to have video documentation of that. And I can point back to this series to be like, look, I was so awful and I could still make it to my dream life. And you can too. Anyway, thank you so much for following me through this series, for making it to the end of this video. I'm so grateful you chose to spend your time with my video. As infinite as time is, it is so finite, and I'm so grateful you shared some of that time with this video. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and this inspires you to just try and try again. At some point, it's gotta work out.